Hello everyone, I'm Marty Boardman with FreeRealEstateEducation.com, and today you are watching video number 2 of 7 in where I explain how I use AZ Bidder to bid on homes at trustee sales here in Maricopa County. Now in the last video, in the property search video, I showed you how to find properties using AZ Bidder. In this video, video number 2, I'm going to show you how to actually identify these properties and then do research on these properties. So let's get right back into the AZ Bidder site. And up here, I've already got all my information plugged in for today's, or rather it would be on Monday's trustee sales. Today's Friday. But as you can see, we've got 12 records. In the last video, when I put in the city of Peoria, we only had 10 records. What AZ Bidder has done is they continue to, throughout the day, check back with the banks and find out if any new opening bids have come in. And since we recorded this video, or my video number 1, where we did the property search a few hours ago, since that time, 2 more records have been added. So another great feature about AZ Bidder, they're quick to update their site. Now the house we were very interested in looking at on the last video was property number 6. It's now 8 on the list, the 7323 West Yuji property. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on that property number 8 on the list. And you can see a new window is opened here. We got all kinds of information about this property. So never mind this evolution, if you will, of how we're going to get to actually placing the bid at the top here. I just want to focus for a moment on this banner here. You can see we've got the address of the property, the subdivision, the size of the home. And I'm going to scroll down here a little bit, and you can see to the left gives us the time of the sale, which is noon on Monday. Tells us 0 previous postponements. What does that mean? Well, a lot of times homes that are in foreclosure the sale itself gets postponed many times. I've seen it postponed as many as 15, 20 times. The reason why that is, if the homeowner is trying to sell the house, maybe it's in the process of a short sale, or maybe they're in the process of doing a loan modification with the lender will postpone the sale. That lets us as bidders know, hey, this thing's been postponed several times. That could mean it's about they're done giving that homeowner any more chances, or it could mean it's going to get postponed again. So that's good to know. Down here a little further, it's going to tell us the level of the home, how many rooms are in the home, how many fixtures, the year it was built, frame wood construction, concrete tile. All this is useful information for us when we're placing our bid, whether it has a 2-car garage, the name of the bank, so on and so forth. Now over to the right, you're going to see, and I really like this, it shows us a street view of the home, a map of the home, and you can see that this is useful because it'll tell us, obviously if the home backs to a busy road, the Thunderbird Road and 75th, those are very busy roads. Obviously the home doesn't back to a busy road, you don't see any railroad tracks or any commercial area at all. It looks like just an interior street, and that's good. So we're going to scroll down a little bit more, and you can see here they even throw in a Google Map view, and that's great. You can see here's some commercial over here, or industrial over here. It's removed from that. And then what's this little stick figure guy here? Well, on some of the properties that we bid on, Google's actually gone out, sent a car around with a camera, and shot street views of these homes. So if I scroll over, you can see there's our house. Here it is, right there. Single level house. And I love these street views. You can get a sense for what's going on in the neighborhood. You can see if there's anything strange going on. It's just useful for us when we're placing our bid. So I'm going to scroll back up here, and that's the notes. That's the info and maps tab. You can see there's several other tabs: notes and calculations, comps public, comps armless, foreclosures, history, deed, treasurer, assessor, recorder. I'll go through each one of these quickly. Notes and calculations. I'm going to click on this. Now this is going to be used once we do our market analysis, but I just want to show you this real briefly. Once we know what the comp is for the house, we can plug that in here, and then we can plug in what we think the repairs are going to be in the house. You can either do it by the price per square foot of the home, or you can just throw in a lump sum here, which is what I do. You can click, go down here and hit solve, and it'll tell you what your maximum bid should be based on some assumptions. Now here are the assumptions, and this is a calculator, and this allows me to plug in our own assumptions and save them down here, which is really great. We know we flipped about 38 houses in the last year or so, and we know it on average it takes us 90 days to get rid of them. We always borrow about 70%. We put 30% down. The rest is leveraged through a private money lender at 18%. We know what our average HOA costs and electrical utility costs are. We throw in about 1% for property taxes. Our concessions, we're usually paying about 3% because most of our buyers are FHA or conventional, and they're asking for about 3% in closing costs. We throw in our own concessions here of $2,400. The 4% in realtor fees, that's what we pay our realtor and our buyer's agents to buy and sell these homes. And under here, under $500, we have other fees. Usually those are homeowners association fees. Most of the houses that we buy here are in HOAs. All right, so I'm going to scroll back up. And what you'll see here is when you calculate all this stuff out, it'll tell you what the profit is and what the annualized return would be. Now we'll get to that in the next video when we do our market analysis. So I'm going to skip over the public comps because I like using armless comps better. One of the great features about using AZ Bidder is it'll actually show us what the comps are in armless and show us what the active listings, the pending listings are all doing. So I'm going to delete that little technical part of the subdivision because most realtors don't put that in their descriptions when they're listing their properties. And then I'm going to click on Custom Subdivision. And what we're going to see next is a list of all of the homes in this subdivision, Sweetwater Ridge. First of all, it's going to show us sold listings in the last 90 days. So here we go. Now, I love this part of AZ Bidder. There's a lot of wonderful features here. It's going to show us all of the homes that have sold in this subdivision in the last 90 days. Now, in addition to giving us the address of the house up here, you can see the first. I know this may be a little small based on your screen resolution, but this right here is the amount of days on the market. This house was on the market 180 days. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, has a pool, gives us all this information, what it sold for, what the sold price was for per square foot, and best of all, says right here, this SS, that's a short sale. That means this home was a short sale. Next on the list, you see bank owned. This tells us this home was owned by the bank. Let me get down here. This next comp is for an auction flip. So this is really great stuff, guys. I mean, we know exactly what's going on in this subdivision because Armless has teamed up with AZ Bidder and is allowing them to use this information. Now, I'll scroll down a little bit further. You'll see this gold star. This is what we call a model match comp. This home in Sweetwater Ridge is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on the market 134 days. It's the exact same property, okay? And you can see here it's sold for $105,000. That's good stuff. It was a short sale. So the sold price was $105,080.77 a square foot. We scroll down even further, we can see pending listings in the subdivision. And again, a couple of flips. A lot of people doing flips in this subdivision. And we can tell, we don't know what the sold price is, but we can see what the list price is on these properties here. Great information. And then lastly, scroll down a little bit further, you can see these are active listings in Sweetwater Ridge. So we know what we're going to be competing against if we end up buying this home and we win the bid. We know what we're going to be competing against, what other like properties are in the subdivision. Okay, and then last, the very bottom here, you can see there's one canceled listing. We're not too worried about that. Okay, good information. Next, we could search in the subdivision for any foreclosure activity. We could go over here to the history tab and we can look at the chain of title. We can see who bought this home originally when it was built in 1997 all the way up through 2006 when the last person purchased the home. We can look at the deed if we want to. This is actually the deed of trust on the property. We can actually look at the foreclosing deed of trust on the property. We can look at the treasurer's website and find out if any back taxes are owed on the property. You can see here in 2010, tax year 2010, $612 is owed in property taxes. So we can factor that into our opening bid as well. We can go to the assessor's website and we can see what the assessed value of the home is in 2011, 2012. We can find out at the recorder site, we can find out, or we can find all recorded documents relating to this owner of the property and the property itself. A lot of useful information here. And what this information will allow us to do is do market analysis, which is the next video, and determine what the value of the property is going to be. And that's where we'll end up next in the next video, which is video number 3, market analysis. Okay? So I appreciate you watching. I'm Marty Boardman with FreeRealEstateEducation.com. Please join us for video number 3, where I will do market analysis on this property on UG. I appreciate you watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time.